All right, welcome back, everyone, for another deep dive from us here at the Operating Room Global TORG. Exactly right.
Got to keep it short in the OR, right?
Got to keep it snappy, absolutely.
Time is tissue.
And if you haven't already hit that subscribe button, please do join our global community.
Yeah, we'd love to have you share this content.
Transforming surgical care around the world, that's what we're all about.
Absolutely.
And today, we're going to be doing a deep dive on something that might surprise you.
Yeah, this is a good one.
Emotional intelligence, EI, in the operating room. Now, we talk a lot on the show about, the technical skills surgeons need, all that training.
Yeah.
But what about the emotional skills?
The non-technical skills, as we say.
Yeah, exactly.
Human factors.
The human side of things. Right?
Yeah.
Because you need that to succeed in the OR.
100%.
You need to be able to stay calm, under pressure, understand your team, communicate effectively.
Right.
It turns out that EI is just as important as all those technical skills.
If not more important. And, we could do a whole deep dive on this, but some studies have actually shown that technical skill is, obviously important to become a surgeon.
Right.
But once you're there, it plateaus. And really what differentiates, excellent surgeons from just good surgeons are these non-technical skills, the leadership, the communication, the teamwork, the emotional intelligence.
I mean, that makes sense. You think about it, the OR is such a unique environment.
Absolutely, yeah.
It is high pressure, life or death decisions.
Split-second decisions.
Yeah, you've got these intricate procedures, the hierarchy. I mean, it's unlike any other workplace, right?
Yeah, I would say so for sure.
So having that strong emotional intelligence it's essential, for success for patient safety.
Absolutely, yeah.
So let's break down, I guess, what EI actually looks like in the OR.
Yeah, let's get into it.
Our source, The Role of Emotional Intelligence in the Operating Room.
Great article.
Really highlights 4 key components, for us to kind of break down today.
Right.
We've got self-awareness, self-regulation,
empathy,
and social skills.
Yes.
So self-awareness, I mean, you're a surgeon, you're in the middle of a procedure.
Scalpel in hand.
Yeah, scalpel in hand. Like, where does self-awareness come into play there?
That's a great question, and it's actually incredibly important because think about it. You're in the middle of this complex procedure. There's a lot going on. There's a lot of people in the room.
Right.
It can be very easy, especially if things aren't going the way you planned.
Right.
Or if an unexpected complication arises, to get flustered, to get frustrated, to, panic even.
Yeah.
And so self-awareness in that situation is being aware of, how you're feeling,
Right.
what your triggers are, maybe it's time pressure, maybe it's a certain type of complication,
Right.
and how all of that is impacting your performance, how you're interacting with the team.
Yeah.
And so that's kind of the first step to, okay, if you're aware of how you're reacting in that situation,
Yeah.
you can then start to regulate yourself,
Okay.
which is kind of the next step.
So self-regulation. Okay, so you notice,
Yeah.
okay, I'm feeling anxious.
Right. Or like your heart rate is going up, you're starting to sweat.
Yeah.
Whatever your kind of physical manifestations of that are,
Yeah.
that's where self-regulation comes in.
Okay.
That's being able to, okay, I'm recognizing that I'm feeling this way. What can I do to kind of calm myself down, take a deep breath, recenter myself, whatever it may be.
So you're not letting those emotions
Exactly.
kind of take over.
Hijack you, as we say.
Right. Yeah. Interesting.
Because if you do that, it's just going to have downstream negative effects on, your decision-making, your performance, patient safety.
Okay. So it's not about just suppressing, though, right?
Right. That's a great point.
Because, if there's a legitimate safety concern, you need to express that.
Yeah, you need to speak up.
Yeah.
And so it's not about suppressing all emotion. It's about managing it effectively so that it doesn't hinder your performance. Compromise patient care, and sometimes, expressing concern in a clear and assertive way is the right thing to do.
Right. Yeah.
That's part of emotional intelligence.
Okay, so it's kind of like channeling your emotions productively.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Got it. Okay.
And that ties into empathy, which is the next one.
Okay, so empathy, when I think of empathy, I'm thinking...
Touchy-feely.
Yeah, touchy-feely. How does that come into play in such a high-tech environment?
Yeah, so I think we often think about empathy as, kind of a soft skill, and in some ways it is.
Right.
But in the OR, it's so important.
Okay.
Because it really impacts the way the team functions and the way they communicate.
Right.
So imagine, for example, you have a nurse who's monitoring the patient.
Right.
And they notice something, maybe a subtle change in their vital signs, something that's not quite right.
Right.
But if the surgeon has cultivated this culture of empathy,
Okay.
that nurse is going to be more likely to feel comfortable speaking up.
Right. Sharing their observations, maybe challenging the surgeon if they need to.
Right.
And that can prevent a serious complication.
I hadn't even thought about the link between empathy and patient safety.
Yeah, it's a
I
huge...
like your point.
Yeah, so it's really all about, again, this culture, right?
Right. The culture of the OR.
Psychological safety.
Yeah, I like that. Psychological safety.
Where everyone feels comfortable to speak up
Right.
and share their concerns.
So how can teams actually foster that? Like, what steps can they take?
Well, it takes a conscious effort from everyone, but especially leaders.
Right.
Because they set the tone.
Right.
And so it starts with creating a space where everyone feels respected,
Okay.
valued, regardless of their role,
Okay.
seniority.
Right.
The surgeon might be the leader of the team.
Yeah.
But they need to recognize that the nurses, the anesthesiologists, everyone plays a vital role.
Yeah, absolutely.
And everyone's input is valuable.
So leading by example, basically.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. So soliciting input from everyone. Right. Actively asking people, what do you think? Do you see anything that I'm missing?
Yeah.
Acknowledging people's contributions, thanking them,
Right.
responding constructively to concerns, even if someone makes a mistake, not getting angry.
Yeah, not making them afraid to speak up next time.
Exactly. Yeah, because that's what we want to avoid, right? We want people to feel comfortable speaking up.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
So it's all about the culture.
And that brings us to social skills,
Yes.
which, I'm assuming those are pretty vital in the OR as well.
Oh, essentially.
Right.
For communication, especially. You're in this fast-paced, high-stakes environment.
Right.
You need to be able to communicate clearly, concisely,
Right.
listen effectively to what other people are saying,
Right.
and be able to adapt your communication style depending on who you're talking to.
Yeah, it's like a whole other skill set.
It is. And there's actually
Yeah.
specific communication techniques that are taught
Oh, really?
for the OR, like closed-loop communication,
Okay.
where you repeat back instructions to confirm understanding.
Oh, okay.
So that everyone's on the same page. That's been shown to reduce errors.
Oh, wow. I like that.
Yeah.
Close loop.
Closed loop communication, yeah.
So it's not easy, though, to kind of build these skills, right?
No, it takes work.
Yeah.
It takes practice, and it takes a commitment to wanting to improve.
Yeah, especially in a field that's as demanding as surgery.
Right. Surgeons go through so much training,
Right.
and so much of it is focused on technical skills
Right.
that sometimes these non-technical skills get neglected.
Right. So how do we improve that?
Well, there's a lot of great strategies out there. One is to incorporate EI training early on,
Okay, make it part of
medical school, residency,
yeah.
even nursing school,
Right.
so that from the start, future surgeons, future surgical teams are equipped with the tools and the language to understand and manage their emotions.
Right. So it's not an afterthought.
Exactly. Yeah, it should be integrated.
Yeah, I like that.
And then there's also things like simulation-based learning.
Oh, yeah, we love simulations on the show.
Simulations are great because you can create these scenarios
Right.
where teams have to practice navigating difficult situations.
Right.
Maybe there's a communication breakdown.
Oh,
Maybe there's an unexpected complication and they
Yeah.
have to work through it together.
So like a dress rehearsal
Exactly.
for the real world.
And it gives them a safe space to make mistakes.
Right.
To learn from them.
Right. Yeah, I like
without
that.
any real-world consequences.
So it's a lot about the training and then the leadership as well, right?
Absolutely. Leaders play a huge role in shaping the culture of the OR.
Right.
And so if you have leaders who model strong EI,
Okay.
who create that culture of psychological safety,
Yeah.
that's going to have a ripple effect on the entire team.
Right. Okay.
And that's really how we're going to see lasting change.
So the takeaway here is that emotional intelligence, EI,
It's essential.
it is essential.
It's not just a nice to
Not
have.
the soft skill.
It's a core competency.
Yeah, for any surgeon, really, for the whole surgical team,
For anyone who works in health.
for anyone who works in healthcare. Yeah.
And actually, I would argue anyone who works in any field.
I was going to say, you'd think about,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Think about your own workplace. How could a deeper understanding of emotions lead to better teamwork, communication,
Yeah.
better outcomes in your environment?
I think it all comes down to that, right?
Yeah.
It's about, like you said, understanding,
Yeah.
managing emotions, building those relationships.
Yeah.
It's a human thing, right?
It is. It's human.
Even in a high-tech field like surgery.
Absolutely.
So I think that's a great takeaway.
Yeah, I think so too.
Emotional intelligence is essential for surgical excellence.
And patient safety.
And patient safety, ultimately.
Which is what we're all about.
Which is what TORS is all about. Thank you all for joining us for another deep dive.
Yeah, thanks everyone.
Please share your thoughts and experiences.
Yeah, let us know what you think of this.
What you think about this topic. And be sure to subscribe for more content just like this.
Absolutely.
Transforming surgical care around the world, one deep dive at a time.
That's what we do.
That's what we do.
See you next time.
See you next time.